Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, and I am Gebo the Shaman, and today we're talking about student-teacher relationships. So, in traditional, spiritual practices, or like when, in the Chinese tradition, like if somebody learned Kung Fu, or learned Qigong, or learned in the Hindu tradition, like learned Kundalini Yoga, things like that, different spiritual practices, they would have a teacher. They would go to a teacher. And, the teacher would teach them. And it's so basically it's a like a student-teacher relationship is this exchange of energy where the teacher is teaching and the student is learning. And so there has to be a mutual exchange of energy. Okay, so there has to be energy exchanging back and forth. So this is why teachers must charge for their services. This is why I charge for everything I do. Because if you don't charge, then there's going to be bad boundaries, there's going to be people taking advantage, and it's not good. And the energy has to be exchanged in one way or another. So often you'll find for gurus and teachers who don't charge, you'll find that they get sexually involved with their students. They'll get, develop a relationship and whatever, and that's bad boundaries. So my policy is, once I meet a student, as a student, they can not, they can't be my friend. They can't be, I can't have relationship with them. They can't be my friend. They are my student. So, so that's the thing. And so the exchange of money, everybody, I've had a lot of people ask, oh, why do you charge for mentoring? Why do you charge for life coaching, for all that stuff? Well, the thing is, because they want it for free, and I'm not doing it for free. There's just no way. The reason I charge is because it sets up an important boundary of the student-teacher relationship. It's when that boundary gets crossed between friendship and between, more than friendship, that, that's bad boundaries, and things can get very, get very unclear. So, and, kind of messy. If we violate the student-teacher boundary, things can get messy. So it is not only does it benefit me when I charge money, it benefits my students, because there's a clear boundary there. There's a clear there's a it's like a protection for them, because they will be protected against my unconscious agendas on them. So so everybody has unconscious agendas. We all want to be liked. We all want to feel like everybody's, that everybody likes us and things like that. And that's our unconscious agenda. We want to be liked, we want to be praised, we want to be admired, things like that. So having that, having like a student paying for my services is basically me putting that aside, and just because my agenda is fulfilled. There's been a mutual exchange of energy. So they've paid me for my time. I give them what they need. I teach them. I spend my time, mentoring them, guiding them, things like that. And so yeah, it's a protection for them, for sure. This is why I refuse to do anything for free, because it protects you and it's good for me. So there's that. Now in the past, when you had like gurus, if you had like sifus, martial arts teachers, qigong teachers, things like that, you would basically come to them with a big red envelope stuffed with cash, and you would say, "Here you go," and they would say, "Okay," like that's how you would ask them to teach you, with an envelope full of money. So and if you didn't do that, if you said, "Why can't you teach me for free?" Oh, there's the door. See ya. So it's totally unreasonable to ask anybody to teach you for free. I mean, the stuff that I've learned from my mentor, from my teacher, that's probably saved me years, if not decades, of trial and error and experience that, because we can, basically what we're doing is we're shortening our learning curve, we're shortening our, we're basically learning faster. So basically, because people will gradually have experience throughout life, and they'll gain more experience as they get older. And so what we're doing when we're learning from our teachers is we're absorbing their years and years of experience, so that way we can do what's best for us in a shortened and have the results in a shortened time frame. So yeah, so that's what teachers are for, to get you results faster. So basically, the other thing that I wanted to talk about was, traditional Chinese teachers, they had it right. They had it right. They, today in Western society, we have a million questions, and we can email our teachers, we can write our teachers, we can text our teachers, and it's so easy to get a hold of them and to ask them questions and things like that without even really thinking, thinking for ourselves and analyzing things, and we just write an email, write a text, without thinking. And so, before, when traditional Chinese teachers, Taoist teachers, and martial arts teachers, Qigong teachers, you would go to them and you would say, Sifu, I want to learn from you. Here's my stack of, cash. And he would say, okay. He would say, go stand in the corner over there on one leg for, he would say, go stand over there in the corner on one leg. You would ask him, okay, when can I stop? He would say, oh, there's the door. There's the door. Get out. And you could be standing there for hours. He's there reading the newspaper, sipping his coffee, just chilling, while you're sweating bullets over there, standing on one leg in the corner. And you're wondering when is this going to be over? And then he, walks out of the room. You don't know what the hell he's doing. He could be going, leaving town. He could be, or he could be back in like 2 seconds, So, this thing of like wanting to ask questions. This is why I ask my students, this is why I tell my students, do the practices, do them every day, and then once you are familiar with those practices, then you can come back and ask questions. It doesn't benefit you to ask questions about anything that you haven't done yet. So, this whole thing about asking questions. Sometimes I think people just ask questions just for the hell of it. Just to ask questions. The other thing is like our minds. Our minds are going 24/7, and if you're new to spiritual practices, then you're really, your mind is going. And this is why I tell my students sometimes, too much thinking. If I do that to you and you're my student, just know it's too much thinking. You're way overanalyzing this. So, things don't have to be complicated. They're very simple. So if people come to me with a lot of questions, and that's great, but, you asked me to teach you. I did not come to you asking, will you please be my student? No, I didn't do that. So if you want to learn from me, then actually do the practices, and a lot of your questions will either not matter or get answered by doing the practices. And this is why I get annoyed with people. Because they are so in their heads that they can't, it's... I don't know. It's... They're so in their heads, and it's really kind of, they think they need to intellectually understand things in order for them to, to work or to do them. And, even with wanting to be a perfectionist at, the Qigong practices. The Qigong practices, once, Here's the thing with the Qigong practices. If you make an honest effort to do them to the best of your ability, even if the best of your ability is not perfect, even if you're not doing exactly what I'm doing, that's fine. Your best is good enough. And what happens is when you make an honest effort to do these practices to the best of your ability, the Ascended Masters will work with you. They will come to you. They will begin to shift your posture, begin to shift slight movements in your hands. They'll begin to shift your body slightly, so that way you get a better understanding of what the movement or what the exercise is actually trying to do. So this whole thing of I need to be perfect and I need to get this right and whatever, that whole judgment of yourself is not benefiting you. So I get annoyed when people ask me a lot of questions about the practices. And then, so the point is just do it and you will have all the answers, The other thing is I didn't come to you asking for you to be my student. You came to me. So, so the thing is, take direction. Learn how to take direction and learn how to allow yourself to be uncomfortable with it. A feeling is just a feeling. And, so when you do the practices and stuff, it's you can have all kinds of feelings, all kinds of assumptions and judgments and things like that, but just do the practices. So yeah, a lot of people can have a lot of preconceived ideas of what the energy is going to be like and what that's all about, but just you'll be surprised. Sometimes you'll feel the energy, sometimes you won't. It's all good. So anyway, guys, student-teacher relationship, what can I say about that? Well, one is the student goes to the teacher and asks to learn. And then when the teacher gives you something, you are expected to do it. The teacher can teach you the most advanced practice in the world, but if you don't actually do it, then there is no point in ever being taught. The other thing is questions. So, so people like to ask questions. And, I get it, but at the same time, it's just like, just do it. Like, a lot of the questions that people have will be answered by experience. So, yeah, I get pretty annoyed with stupid questions. Yeah, so anyway, guys, if you do want to learn from me, then you can click on the links over here. You can also go to the links down below in the description. And yeah, is there anything I wanted to say about student-teacher relationship? So yeah, so the boundaries. So, you know, so the boundaries, that's why we pay our teachers, so they don't have an unconscious agenda on us, wanting us to be their friends, wanting us to be their, whatever. So the monetary thing, paying your teachers, that creates a very important boundary. Alrighty, so yeah. And then of course there's the unconscious resistance, which that's a whole subject in itself. Anyway, guys, I have rambled, and yeah, so that's the video for today. We'll be back tomorrow with some other stuff. Alright. Anything else? If you want to get a Vedic astrology reading from me, you can go to linktree/GetAboutTheShaman. The link's also down below in the description. If you want a birth time rectification, then you can go to the link down below in the description, or the link right here. So birth time rectification is basically, if you don't know your birth time. Then I also offer distance energy healing, career coaching, life coaching, spiritual coaching, spiritual teaching, shamanic ritual magic courses, emotional awareness course, and things like that. So yeah, thanks for watching, and we will talk to you next time. Peace.